Join with me today is Reminix. We're going to talk about probably one of the most controversial things I've ever seen in a blog post. And why don't we talk about what happened first? Then we'll talk about whether we think it's intentional or not intentional, what it means to the kit, what it means to people that spent money on A-Force. But in this week's blog post, all the way down, like way down, in like the smallest part after all of that, rogue ability correction. Last week's blog contained a couple of errors with Rogue's ability text. We incorrectly stated that Rogue's special ability Gloves Off has an energy cost of 2-2. The actual energy cost is not 3-3, not 4-4, not 5-5, is 6-6. Her special ability was also missing the final stating this attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. Now, Ram, when I first saw this 2-2, I almost thought it was too good to be true. But then again, we just had Gambit at 0-0 on his special. What do you think happened?
I mean, there's probably a number of things that happened behind the scenes. It sounds like, looking at it, it says there are a couple of errors. So was it an error or was it a rebalance? I think you and I both looked at it and we were like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That is OP. Because she also gets 50% speed up. So
correct.
A lot like,
and 50% removal on her opponent.
On her primary target. So
yeah.
it was definitely a concern that the only way to counter them was going to be a mirror match. And that was going to really, we already have this.
Well, it'd be problematic because she could 1v1 anybody with that kit, right? I mean, basically, I don't know if she could take on a team, but she could definitely 1v1 anybody.
Yeah, so she was definitely slated to probably be the best character in Marvel Strike Force by a long margin because of all of her special abilities. Now, all that being said, you were telling to me about the investment you made in Young Avengers, right?
Yes. And I dumped money into A-Force because of this kit. Like I've said it in videos, like guys, like she is really good. Like she looked easily to be legendary. Like it was like impressive. And the thing that we were talking about at length was, oh, maybe this is going to help in Doom raids. Maybe this is going to help in Dark Dimension going forward. Like it felt very legendary. 6-6 is more of a what, you think about Arena, you think about Cosmic Crucible, right? Longer cooldowns lend themselves to war offense, there's exceptions, of course, but but raid teams and Dark Dimension teams need to have lower cooldowns to be highly effective. I mean, look at like Shang-Chi, right? Amazing, right? Amazing. And her, I don't know. We'll have to see, right?
People went after this character, Phantom X, who I'm on the fence about how good this character is as a standalone character. He feels a lot like Echo, right? He feels like he's so slow. He's definitely interesting with his counterattack when his team's there, but he feels unimpactful to the game as a whole, right? Because we definitely look at characters as far as viability in other game modes. So, it's
now you're talking about Rogue, or you're talking about Phantom X?
Phantom X, because people bought him last night. Right, like we just had a release for him.
Well, I wasn't impressed with him, but so it didn't. I conveyed that I was not impressed to everybody almost.
Yeah, well, and so it feels just like, and I'm going to use the term rug pull, right? Because it feels like that just seems like the day after he gets released, they now talk about this whole like 6-6 on the Rogue and makes this team feel less viable in other game modes,
right?
Why should we care about Crucible right now? I guess
Teal Gear. I mean, I did a poll on this. People think that Crucible is more important than Alliance War. So, let's talk about that story that we talked about, because we were on the same call. And it kind of goes to this poem by Rastlin. Rastlin is like the king of Reddit, right? Waiting for a full week to correct the cooldowns and Rogue Special is an enemy of everything wrong with communication in Marvel Strike Force. Love to hear the exciting story of how this happened. And then he says, it's not like it's supposed to be 3-3, 2-6 are not even close to being the same value. So we have another example of this happening, right? You and I. So we were on a conference call that was on a Thursday. It was on a Thursday or a Wednesday. No, it was a Tuesday. It doesn't matter. It was midweek, right? Yeah. And the conference call was about the Wakandan reworks. And we wrapped that up, and then the questioning went, and you asked the question is, A-Force, who do you want to pick to be the fifth member on this team who works well? Then the guy says, there's some obvious choices, Doom, Silver Surfer, but we really like, and what do they say?
Yo-Yo. They felt like the team was balanced around Yo-Yo. Because I asked them,
that's not the part of the conversation that went whacked, and it kind of lends it to this.
Yeah.
We like Yo-Yo because she just got she got these health stat boosts, and we went, what are you talking about? And the guy goes, it should have been in last week's blog post, right? That's what he said. And then there was this conversation between Cerebro and this guy. But the point is this: the guy that knows about what's supposed to be in the blog post, the guy that knows Rogue's kit is 2-2 rather than 6-6, then he knows that it shouldn't be 2-2, doesn't read the blog post. He had no clue that information we were supposed to get was not in the blog post, and he had this whole conversation with Cerebro. It's like, well, we told you to put in the blog post, and Cerebro's like, I don't know what's going on. That's what happened, right?
Well, I mean, you're paraphrasing that a little bit, but yeah, there was definitely some confusion about whether or not this was supposed to get out to the community and should have appeared in the blog post. And
right,
obviously you're paraphrasing.
Yes, I am.
And so.
But the point is the guy didn't read the blog post.
The point is, it seems like the check and balances missed something here, and so even looking at this blog post, if you scroll down, you can see that there's some confusion with the Blitz reward. They broke up they put a line of text in the middle of the Blitz rewards. The more like the missing Blitz rewards are in the middle of the golden campaign notes. So I mean, it feels to me like there's a lot of information in the blog post. We tend to hold them accountable for it. Obviously, things are always subject to change, but this is a significant change.
It's big, and the point is that the person that knows that the kit was wrong didn't read. I mean, he didn't read the blog post at all. Like, somebody over there doesn't care about their job, doesn't care about the community, doesn't care about the information going out to public. Somebody knows that the kit was wrong, right? They didn't read the blog post. How many people over there at Scopely know about the kit, didn't read the blog post, and it took an entire week for us to get this corrected? That's what I'm saying. Because when I played Marvel Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, there was a lady over there by the name of CG Carey. She knew everything about the game, and I understood that she was like a micromanager. She knew everything. Like, this would have never happened if she worked at Marvel Strike Force, because she would have known the kit, she would have saw the blog post, and it would have got fixed immediately. How come there's not a person at all at Scopely like that? I can't understand this. How do these people get their jobs?
I think that they're trying to hire people that play the game now. They're looking back and they're saying this makes a lot of sense to bring people in. I mean, and to be very clear, that's kind of like the hope that I had when they brought
and we're making the assumption that this is factually true, that this was an oversight. The other conclusion is that they did this on purpose, right?
Well, you can let's when you eliminate the likely, the improbable become possible, right? So I think there's also the possibility that it could be intentional, but I think that I don't think the company wants to intentionally mislead people.
I don't either. I see. I've always said that this is incompetence rather than malice. But this just seems like it's just horrible. Let
me just give you some insight, because I think this will probably be a little bit better to kind of help you understand what I think. So I think what happens is Cerebro gets emails throughout the weeks of things that are supposed to appear in the blog post or potential appear in the blog post, and gets confirmation on whether or not they should be checked. And so hey, I'd like to put some information about character design for Rogue in the blog post. Do we have her kit finalized yet? Yeah, we're working on it. So somebody sends it in there with the typo, and there's just no system to double check because he's rushing to get it in there because they want to sell the A-Force offers. To be very clear, that's a lot. That information was something that we asked for as envoys.
Yeah,
because we wanted that information to understand if how valuable was Rogue gonna be to the meta. We wanted to understand that before we said, all right, guys, build up your young Avengers, go hard on A-Force, and let's transition humans to something where you can use them as a SAC team, right?
No, I was really excited about Rogue, and this completely has dampened it. Completely.
I think if you ask everybody, there's nobody here that doesn't feel a little bit wind out of the sails over this. I mean, some people are going to say, "Oh, it's par for the course. This was too powerful," and they're gonna, and maybe that's the right answer. Maybe, and for most people are feeling like, "Holy crap, what did I just do? Is she going to be raid viable?" And we don't know. We don't have enough information. And let me just talk to you about this. Why not? If they're going to make her like this way, maybe they give her just an X-Men tag or makes like Beast all X-Men and remove the uncanny. They've got to do something to adjust for this if they're compensating for something, because
Right.
her only being in a crucible means a lot of people just don't care about her. Not
Correct.
with
I mean,
not,
but I polled people yesterday, and it was determined that Crucible is more important to the people, like 80% of the people, than War. Like, so like it's more important than War. I understand people don't care about War, but the Crucible is more important than that.
but do you need to build this team for War? I mean, she's still going to be a phenomenal character. At 6'6", I think she's not. Like,
That's what I was gonna say. At 6'6", I'm not sure. At 2'2", yeah. I mean, and I remember thinking 2'2" was too good to be true, but then again, Gambit had 0-0 in the special, and I was like, okay, maybe they're just gonna do something, because we still don't know, her stats. We don't know anything about her stats or her speed or anything like that. We also don't know how her assist and her safety mechanic, as they refer it, works. We don't know any of that, right?
yeah. Well, I guess I have hope that some character in the future gives them energy. We'll see.
Right, and I do suspect that she's going to be a good character. I mean, Morgan Le Fay, in my opinion, is legendary. She is legendary, right? And I think Rogue was on track to be beyond legendary. I don't know. Like I'm not sure anymore. This is just a big deal. What do you say to the players that did dump a lot of resources into A Force, let's say? I mean, what should they do about it? I don't know. I mean, she still might be good. We don't really know, but this is just a big disappointment. I just don't see her being useful in raids and Dark Dimension and stuff like that, right?
I'm going to use my old conversation. It feels bad. We don't know if
feels really bad.
If it is bad. We don't know. We don't know that if this team is going to be viable, if we're going to be able to build a raid team around this, if maybe now instead of there being a 2-piece combo for raids, we add a character, hopefully that is, good and may we talked about like what the team needed was a way to resurrect Phantom X, right? So, so I hope that happens, and hopefully we'll see this soon. But I mean, there's still hope that this team has some value. So I hope everybody's listening.
All right, we'll leave it at that. And I got to say, I'm disappointed, but par for the course at this point. All right, Reminex, you're doing a lot of Twitch. A lot of people have been asking about that. And maybe you'll start making some YouTube videos, right?
Yeah, YouTube video coming soon. I'm probably going to just detail, like, hopefully we can get some information about the finalization of this team, because it definitely feels bad. And I think at the very least, everybody needs to respond to all of this ASAP.
All right. Thanks for watching. Keep on giving. Bye.